Within yoga, there's so much, right? There's asana, there's pranayama, there's meditation. And I would recommend that in these times, the best practice is simple pranayama. Pranayama is something that everyone should inculcate into their lives, and it doesn't have to be, even 25 to 30 minutes. It can just simply be 5 minutes a day. Just by waking up in the morning and before you do anything else, before you check your phone, before you go onto WhatsApp, if you just sit even in your bed and observe your breath and try to slow down your breathing. That's all you have to do. Try to slow down your breathing, which will automatically extend the breath, right? So instead of breathing, what we're actually breathing like is this. I've extended my breath, right? Remember that in nature around us, animals which breathe slower live longer lives. For example, a dog breathes very fast. It takes many breaths in 1 minute, whereas an elephant takes less breaths in 1 minute and therefore leads a long life. So really, the length of your life depends on the length of your breath, right? So do keep that in mind, and do note that these breathing practices are truly powerful, and they can really help on a physical level, on an emotional level, and on an energetic level to move you from a place of grief and sadness into a better and happy place. How does yoga help in dealing with grief and sadness? Can yoga help? That's a very pertinent question in these times, and I'm happy to say that the answer is yes. But how does this happen? It happens because yoga works on our brain. A lot of yoga asanas that we do, in particular the pranayama practices, work on the vagus nerve. And this vagus nerve in our brain helps with healing. This is a scientific response, right? So just by doing some of these yogic practices, we can bring about healing in our body and in our mind. An asana practice really helps with the release of endorphins. It helps with the release of what we know as happy hormones. And that can help move us from a place where we feel really sad and upset into a better place. On a pranic level, when we talk about energy, yoga helps us move from a tamasic state into a more of a sattvic state, or whether it's rajasic into sattvic, right? Sometimes we may be feeling a lot of anger with what's happening around us in the world, and yoga can certainly help us.
Ashtanga yoga is a traditional form of yoga which includes a series of asanas which help strengthen the root of your body, those are your legs, and strengthens the muscles and bones. This form was originally designed for warriors and hence is a very intense form. It is an effective way to burn calories and strength train with the help of your body weight. So these are my favorite yoga routines because they're so much fun, energizing, and you won't believe it, but they do also burn calories. Well, I know what you're thinking, but stop thinking and start doing.
Hi guys, this is Sarvesh Shashi. I am the founder and CEO of Sarva. We are a digital wellness platform that is built on the authentic foundations of yoga. Yes, I think it's not about avoiding the third wave or avoiding any sort of a wave, because I think it is all in the hands of us on how we can protect ourselves by following the protocols, wearing masks, social distancing, not really venturing outside unless and until it's extremely important, because I think that it's not just going to be affecting us, but it'll also affect our children, because people have been saying the third wave could affect and impact children a lot more. So I sincerely request all of y'all to take utmost precautions and stay indoors as much as you can. Eat healthy food, drink a lot of liquids, have warm water, do a lot of yoga, because I think yoga can genuinely help in improving immunity, improving the lung capacity of children, of adults, and of every single person. There are a few asanas that I think every child can do. I think fundamentally every child can do the Surya Namaskar, which is the 12 steps. But typically what happens is children tend to get bored when they do the Surya Namaskar. So you can teach them the Surya Namaskar by calling out the different poses in the 12 step differently. For example, the Parvatasana can be called as mountain's pose, can be called downward dog, etc., which will excite the children to kind of be a lot more involved in the practice. But apart from that, they should do the Brahmari pranayama, which can help in improving memory. They can do the Anulom Vilom pranayama, which will help in balancing their metabolism and their right brain and left brain. Well, I think every child can start off by just giving 15 minutes every single day in their lives, in their day-to-day routine, for the practice of yoga, breathing, meditation. It helps immensely because I started off when I was 6 years old, and trust me, it has completely changed my life. Well, there is a misconception that yoga needs to be practiced for this much time for meditation, this much time for pranayama, breathing, etc. But that's not true at all. I think every step positively ahead is a step closer to a healthier and happier you. So you can start yoga by spending just 5 minutes a day, every day, early in the morning. If you can wake up and do 11 deep breaths, that is a great start to a fantastic day and a great yogic practice as well. But there is no specific time that you need to practice, which is before breakfast, etc. But I think the most important thing is between your practice and your last meal, there needs to be at least a 2.5 hour gap. Yes, practicing yoga early in the morning is very, very helpful because it energizes you for the entire day. You wake up with a positive note, then you do yoga, and your entire day moves on extremely positively and very, very happily as well.
It doesn't matter how the posture looks. What matters is how the posture feels. The aesthetics or the depth or the contortion that we can do with our body is just incidental. You can pursue that if that's of interest to you, but it's not important to get the benefits of yoga. So feeling the posture is far more important because that is the mindfulness practice we do. And I'm going to share this with the example of Bhujangasana or Cobra pose. So Cobra pose is with the palms by the chest. You roll the shoulders back and you lift up, peeling the torso, the chest off the ground, and using a lot of the upper back muscles to stay lifted, while also using support from your hands to push away from the ground. But what happens when we don't care about how we feel but focus more on how we look, which means straightening the elbows, hanging from the shoulders, that gives a sense of getting a very deep stretch because we're really far away from the ground, which may not look as nice as being here. But if you notice, what have I done here? I'm hanging from the shoulder. I have very little use of my upper back muscles, the stabilizing muscles. So instead, roll the shoulders back and down. Don't lock the elbows. Keep the elbows bent and find a nice openness in the chest, which could even be here. This is a far more powerful Bhujangasana than this one here. Alright, and the number one thing is that you do not have to be flexible in order to be good at yoga or in order to practice yoga. That's a very common myth, and let me share with an example. So example today is going to be Uttanasana, or a standing forward bend, which has so many progressions and regressions which we can take. So hands on the waist, hinging from the hip, we start moving into a forward bend, either grabbing hold of our big toes, which is Pada Gusthasana, sliding our hands under the feet, which is Pada Hastasana, which of course requires a level of flexibility that may not be available when we're just starting out. So, but then what happens is that when you think that flexibility is most important, we start pushing, pulling and forcing our body to fit a certain posture and to reach the ground. And look what that does to my whole body and to my spine. That's not really the best thing to do for the posture. So then, how can we do a forward bend when we're just starting out? You start hinging at the hip, find a point where you start feeling a stretch in the hamstrings and you stop there. As long as you stay in that position and do some deep breathing over time, with regular practice, your body will start opening up. Another way to modify is to slightly bend the knees, which allows you to go a bit lower and you will still feel that stretch in the hamstrings. So instead of this round spine with the legs straight, you can find a more neutral spine and transfer more of the posture into the back of the legs before bringing your spine into the stretch much later when you reach the end.
Time of pandemic, how we are recovering if we had this your vaccine shot. So these are the 3 asanas which will help you as yogic boosters. They'll help you to energize, they'll help you to be strong. First asana is Paschimottanasana, and this asana is very, very helpful for immunity also. So bring your legs out, body straight, back straight. Very gently exhale, empty your stomach, drop your body down, hold your toes, and big exhale, look down. This is your first asana. We need to do this 3 sets, so 3 counts in 1 round. So exhale and go down. Hold as per your capacity, and then gently come back. 1 more count, 3, 2, 1, exhale, go down. Very, very, very slowly come back. So this is your 1 round. Like that, 3 rounds you should do. Second asana, Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Both legs there together. Hold your toes. Big exhale and go down. Come back. Big exhale and come back. Holding is as per your capacity. Big exhale and come back. The same asana you need to do 3 rounds. Now the third asana, slightly you need to work for that. It's not very tough, but at the same time it requires your energy. The name of this asana is Chaturanga Dandasana. So you are in the plank position. You drop your body half and you stay there. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and up and 0. So balance your body. Same thing. Again, 3 sets and in 3 rounds. Same sets in 3 rounds. So look how we'll do that. You bring your body out, exhale and stay there. 3, 2, 1. Inhale and go back. Very gently drop down. Balance your body here. And then third set. Exhale. So you need to hold your body here. 3, 2, 1 and come back. 0. Relax there. All the 3 asanas that you should practice for 3 rounds. Holding as per your capacity, because you are building yourself. So no need to hold for longer duration. It's completely on you. And I'm very hopeful with these practices you will be able to gain strength.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com.